Okay. And what's up, everyone? We're back and live for our third and final guest of the day. I'm joined by our very own Billy Watson from La Feria, Kevin Naro here from Edinburgh, and our special guest, Mission Veteran Senior Ronnie Cantu from Mission. Ronnie, what's up?
Hey y'all, what's up?
How's it going? What are you up to? How have you been these days?
I'm hanging in there, just taking it day by day, getting plenty of rest, which is pretty cool. You know, not something you're used to, when you're going to school, being a student athlete and all. And just taking precautions, everything that's going on in the world right now is kind of scary, kind of hectic, but we'll get past it just as long as we do what we need to do.
Have you? I mean, we know you're an athlete, but have you picked up on any hobbies around the house? While we're in quarantine.
Not necessarily. I have been watching TV a lot more, which is not something I'm used to because, I mean, on a regular basis, when school is going on, school, practice, come back home, eat, and go to sleep. I do watch Netflix. I'm not much of a binge watcher. I'm actually far from that. I watch an episode, I'll get bored for like 5 minutes, and I'll just carry on to something else. But what I do watch a lot is the Food Network.
The Food
with
Network.
my family.
Food Network.
Yeah, we love watching cooking and baking, and I don't do it. I don't cook, I don't bake, but watching it is pretty cool.
Who's the chef in the Cantu house?
I don't want to hurt either one of my parents. They both cook.
They both.
But mom's still working during all of this, so she's more of like the weekend cook.
Okay.
Today's Good Friday, so she cooked some catfish, some tuna salad, a pasta salad, some fruta. She does kind of that. But my dad, he's like the common eatery cook. He makes the spaghetti during the week, the ham and tacos for breakfast. So both my parents, my sister and I, never.
Does Coach Cantu barbecue?
He does. He just started getting back into that. He would a lot when I was younger, but being a coach, it takes up a lot of his time, being a teacher as well. So he just started getting back into that.
Definitely.
Which is nice.
So, what shows have you watched? You said you're not too much of a binge watcher, but of the shows, what have you seen over these last few weeks?
Okay. So I'm not really into series like All American and Ozark, like those new shows that are coming out. Not really into those. I don't want to sound weird, but I watch like competitions on Netflix. So right now I'm watching Interior Design Masters, stuff like that, like cooking shows. I watched some fashion, like a runway show the other week. So yeah, I'm more into that, not so much.
That's cool. Yeah, no, that's a first, and you're the first person to come on here and not mention that Tiger show. What's it called, Billy?
Tiger King. Tiger King.
Tiger King.
Yeah.
Actually, I watched maybe like bits and pieces of it with my parents. They were watching it, but not something I'm really into.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Billy, have you seen it yet, or?
No, I haven't seen it either. I've just seen so many memes already on
all the memes
social
on
media.
Twitter.
Exactly, and like.
Yeah.
It's just like the SAT on Saturday. You can't even figure it out anymore.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it. I know Coach Gilpin was on here the other day, and he that was the first show that he mentioned, and I know him and Landon enjoyed it. I was like, oh, well, I haven't seen it yet, but maybe it's on the to-do list. I did finish All American. I thought it was
nice. Yeah.
Maybe you should.
My sister's watching it.
Yeah, and you see, I will. Yeah, I'm sort of the same where I don't exactly binge watch it where I know some people will watch a season in a day. I'm like, oh, I can't do that. I'll watch 2, maybe 3 if it's really good, but 2 for sure, and then I'll call it a day, and then I'll watch the next couple shows as it goes on. But we're about almost a month into quarantine and us having to be at home and being out of work and school. As a student athlete, how have you adjusted to all that and just trying to maintain a healthy schedule?
Well, I believe like as a student athlete, we tend to almost take for granted like the amount of time that we have because we seem to be doing so much in our time, whether it's like sports, extracurriculars, band, theater, stuff like that. So this has kind of been the time to take advantage of the time that we have. And I've almost set out a little routine that I have during the day. It's not the best routine, but it's a start. I'll wake up, eat breakfast, go through my meals throughout the day, but I'll usually go out and work. I'll go and work out around 4 or 5 in the afternoon. Just continuing to work out, continuing to eat right. It's important that we do that right now because it's so hard to stray away from that, considering you don't have the daily routine that you used to have and all.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, obviously you have you have your dad there to help you as far as workouts go. Has he given you workouts? Because I know we're seeing a lot on Twitter with athletes sharing workouts, coaches sharing workouts. Is that something that you've been able to do? Is get a set of workouts that you've been going through each day, or?
Yeah, I actually got a workout from St. Edward's. The coaching staff they sent out, to keep stay fit. What are they called? Those running workouts, just 20-minute workouts, ball handling workouts in terms of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to go out to the park with my dad earlier in this quarantine season. And he would kind of run me through some workouts, tell me what to do, layups, jump shots, just a set of things. And then actually, I just recently had an assignment due with health, and it was based on a 20-minute workout that she wanted us to do because we're learning about exercise right now. So that was pretty cool.
As far as your studies go, obviously, a high school athlete, you guys go to school every day. You're used to visual learning and being in contact with your friends and teachers. Mm-hmm. Was it difficult at all trying to get adjusted to learning how to work things online and doing school online?
Initially, yes. But usually at school, it's also partially an online course. I do take a college class, so that was kind of the norm, I'm used to that. But in terms of like my AP classes that I'm used to at school, it was initially kind of difficult getting used to that because I am personally a visual learner. Mm-hmm. But just staying on top of it, doing the assignments before the day that they're actually due, those are the important things, just managing your time.
Billy, you have a question for Ronnie?
Not academics wise, no. I'm gonna wait till we get to basketball.
All right. Let's talk about your signing day. It was a big day for you, obviously, you and your family. Just what was the whole recruiting process like for you? And eventually you picked St. Edward's, and what made you go there, and what made you say this is where I want to be?
Okay, well, I went to the summer elite camp, summer going into my senior year. And it was the first camp that I was going to go to actually put myself out there physically, not so much, using Huddle and sending your film and stuff. I went to St. Edward's first because I absolutely love Austin. And as time was kind of shortening up and I was becoming a senior, I was realizing that I couldn't really fulfill my dream of playing basketball at the University of Texas, which has been like the ultimate goal, ultimate dream. But I think as long as I've stayed in Austin, that was kind of what I wanted to do. So I looked around at schools. I know there's Concordia, Hudson-Tillotson, really, really awesome, really great schools. And I came across St. Ed's. And I mean, just looking at pictures of it online, fell in love with it. You know, I couldn't wait till I actually saw it in person. And when I went to the elite camp, stepping foot on the campus, it's kind of like that initial feeling that you get when you really, like, you know, you are where you want to be. And when I got to St. Ed's, it was that homey vibe, that really nice feeling. And, you know, I knew that there was a chance maybe I wanted to come here. So I went to the camp. I went through the camp. It was really fun. It was about, 8 hours. It was like a school day. I was playing basketball. I was living the dream, literally. And then when we huddled at the end of the camp, and there was about 28 of us, so that was pretty cool that we kind of got to get that one-on-one with the coaching staff and all. But at the end of the camp, the head coach, Coach JJ, the whole camp, she was writing down on pamphlets, you know, like side notes of each player that she was seeing, and she handed them out to everyone at the end of the camp. And when she handed it out to me, she whispered in my ear, talk to me when we're finished. So immediately my heart dropped. I didn't know if it was a good thing or a bad thing, but I was like really excited. And when she finished her speech, I went up to her and I was talking to her, and, you know, she was telling me she was really impressed, and she was looking into getting serious for recruiting. And, you know, when you hear that, initially, you know, as many things as I wanted to say, you know, thank you, coach, this is awesome, I broke down in tears. I was so happy. I was speechless. I couldn't even say anything. You know, I just gave her like a huge hug, and it kind of makes you think, like, all the hard work, all the dedication that you put into the sport, you know, making it almost your lifestyle, it's finally paid off. And it was so awesome because St. Edward's was my first choice aside from UT. And just to be able to get that offer, like, it was immense gratification. It was awesome. It was amazing. And after that, you know, we would keep in contact, and I set that school as my main school. I wasn't really looking into any other schools because I feel like I had my heart set on St. Edward's, and here we are.
Was it always basketball, or did you ever think like maybe I could play volleyball at the college level, or was it just basketball is your first sport, your love?
You know, basketball is my first sport. You know, I knew I was going to play collegiate basketball. But if I was ever given the chance to play volleyball, hey, that's pretty cool too. Yeah, I would totally play both sports if I could. I love volleyball too. You know, I grown up playing it just as much as basketball. So, yeah.
What are you most? Go ahead, Billy.
My bad. Had you look into schools as much as you had put in time for looking into basketball, or was this volleyball or basketball more the priority, if that makes sense?
In terms of like academics?
In terms of just like for volleyball, did you look at schools the way you did for basketball?
Oh, to be honest, no, I didn't. I was looking straightforward into basketball. But I would get letters sometimes in terms of volleyball, which is pretty cool. You know, it kind of give me that feel good. Oh, maybe I'm doing something in volleyball. But yeah, basketball.
What are you most excited for about, you know, having the opportunity to be a college athlete? And you know, there's a lot that comes with it. You know, the camaraderie, the fact that you get to play for another 4 years. So what are you most excited about?
I mean, I think you hit it right there. Just being able to extend my basketball career. You know, I look at my last high school game. I wish it wasn't my last high school game. You know, we still have the All-Star games to go, but unfortunately, those are canceled. But looking at the last playoff game, it was a game that I think I really left it out there with a bang. You know, as far as my high school season. And there were tears, and, you know, you hear people telling you, oh, well, it's not over, it's not finished. Well, my senior season is finished, and that's pretty sad. But in terms of playing college, I mean, gosh, like, I'm so thankful and so grateful that I'm going to be able to play the sport that I love another 4 years, and maybe even after. I mean, you really know. You really never know. But definitely that, and just the fact that I get to be in Austin for a long time.
That last playoff game, that last playoff game you played in, you guys nearly pulled off an upset, and just the way, you finished your career with a bang, kind of the way Kobe, what was it, 61 in his last game? Billy, Kobe.
It was 60.
60.
Close enough.
Yeah. I remember. I think it may have been the day after or a couple of days after. I believe it was the Caller Times wrote an article on the game, and although who's it? You played Flower Bluff. I'm sorry. Who'd you guys play?
Flower Bluff. Yes.
Flower Bluff, right? Flower Bluff won the game, but the storyline was Ronnie Cantu. I'm sure you read the article. I think your mom shared it on Twitter. When I read it, I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like, despite the loss, you were still the centerpiece of that story, and just how scored all those points in that fourth quarter, and just walk me back through that and just what it was like. And I mean, I know you play with that edge. You've had it your whole career, but did something else flip a switch? Or, I mean, to just go off like that, what was it?
Well, from the very moment I woke up that day, I had the mentality that, I'm going to play this game like it's my last. It may be not, but I'm going to give it absolutely everything I have. Because everything was on the line in that moment, As a program, I don't think we made it past the second round, so just to be able to do that would be amazing. And I never thought it'd be in our grasp, like, that close. And during the game, it's almost as many fans as there were, as feisty as it was getting on the court. I seemed to just totally like calm myself and just shut off everything else that was going on besides the game, which is it's very hard to do, especially in a playoff atmosphere.
Right.
But my dad always tells me, he says, there's games like preseason when we played Corpus Christi King, Arlington Seguin, and even during district season we played Pioneer and PSG Memorial, like those really tight games. He always tells me it's always like you get that look in your eye, like you're about to flip the switch. And I think that's exactly what I did in this Flower Bluff game. But like you just said, it's like I added a little bit more pizzazz in there. I don't even know what it was, but it's just that feeling, you don't want your high school season to be over. You didn't think it was going to come this fast. And in that very moment, you have to give it everything you have. And though we were down 20 points at half, I think that halftime speech that we had to be probably one of the best speeches that I've ever gotten from my dad, I've ever gotten from the team, because it was like everybody was engaged. Everybody was giving input. Everybody wanted it. Like they wanted it as much as I did. And that gave me so much gratitude, sense of relief, because the girls wanted it so much more than me. They're seniors too, and really I can't thank anybody but them for giving me the season that we did have, and giving me that game experience that we had, because it was amazing. And I know we're going to remember it and we're going to talk about it when we're 40, 50 years old.
Yep.
But yeah, it was a crazy game, and I'm never going to forget it.
Definitely. Billy, you got a basketball question?
I do. What's one of your, besides, I would say the last game was probably your favorite game, but what's been your most favorite memory in any sport?
In any sport?
Ooh. If you can't find anything for basketball.
Gosh, well, honestly, I am going to go to basketball. Okay. Probably the Rockport tournament. We went to it my sophomore, junior, and senior year. You're out of town with your team. It's kind of like you learn the quirks of everybody going, like you're not at school anymore. You're not necessarily on the court anymore, but it's almost kind of like you're living with each other for 3 days. And I think that's what kind of sets the bond for the rest of the year. Especially when you're playing out of town teams, because it's almost like we underestimate ourselves at first. We're kind of the underdogs when there's There's girls 2 feet taller than our post player. Their point guard is 2 feet taller than our post player. And that's when you know, like, things just got real, right? So I think just being able to go to that tournament, just being able to create the bond that we do have and that we had throughout the season, it all really started there. And I love going to Rockport. I absolutely love it. And I absolutely love beating out-of-town teams too.
Definitely.
Let's switch gears for a little bit and talk about your volleyball career and playing for Coach Lerma, and just you guys have your own legacy in basketball, and then I mean Mission Veterans has its own respectively as well, and just every time I go into y'all's gyms, I'm always just amazed by all the district titles and just all the playoff wins Coach Lerma has. Playing with her and girls like Jackie Howell over the few years, and just talk about the volleyball program and just what it means to Mission Vets and what it means to you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been playing for Coach Lerma besides my junior high season. I played for her club season when I was very small, when I was about 9-10 years old. I played for Coach Lerma. I played with Cassie Lerma. I played with Jackie. Just, all the elites during my high school career. So being able to grow up together and take that into high school, it's more special than most because you're able to create that bond as younger athletes. And now, you're looking ahead into post high school collegiate athlete. Now Jackie's playing college. I know Cassandra's going to be signing soon to go play college volleyball. And it's almost like, wow, speechless. But being able to play for Coach Lerma was awesome. She may seem intimidating at first. She was totally intimidating when I was 9 years old.
Just a little bit.
But
just a little bit,
she's definitely not. She's such a sweetheart. When I'm walking through the hallways at school, she's always screaming, Ronnie, superstar. I can hear her from across the hallway. And volleyball is definitely something I'm going to miss. It's definitely not basketball. It's very different. But just the bond and the memories that I was able to create and experience during my high school career was awesome. I'm very, very grateful for that.
A lot of things that people don't, people that don't really understand or get is that there is such a thing as volleyball shape. There's such a thing as basketball shape. Obviously, you're playing volleyball, and then you got to make that transition into basketball. How long does it take for you personally to get in? I know everybody's different, but you in particular, how long does it take for you to get from volleyball shape to basketball shape?
Well, during volleyball season, we were actually pretty good about staying in shape. Not necessarily volleyball shape, but I mean, we would go out and we would run miles sometimes, right before practice, go to the track, just do some basketball type workouts actually. So going into basketball season, it wasn't necessarily a tough adjustment, a tough transition, but it was definitely not the same. I know in my first few games, basketball season, I knew my dad had to take me out at some point because I will be huffing and puffing and can't even make it up and down the court 2 or 3 times. So, I mean, it was tough. I'm not gonna lie. This year was tough. It was really tough because I did not run track my junior year, and when I ran it freshman and sophomore year, I was in the best shape I've ever been in my life. So. After not running, it's tough, but I mean it's not hard to get into.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's more of how well are you physically rather than maybe the skills part of it. Would you agree to that, or does it have a little bit to do with both? Because I know obviously you're dribbling and your volleyball you're not dribbling. Or is it a little bit the same?
It is kind of the same because it kind of depends. Not even that. I mean, any position on volleyball, whether you're a back row, setter, a hitter. In my case, I was a setter, so gosh, I was running around all over the place, which is kind of what a setter does, you know. Put it where it needs to be for the hitter. The hitter goes up once, comes back, goes up again, comes back, goes up again. You need to be physically in shape for that. You know, it's not easy. There was times in volleyball games where I was drenched, I was sweating, and I don't usually sweat in volleyball. But yeah, it is similar in a way.
Billy, any volleyball questions?
Yeah, I was gonna ask. What did you think of that RGB Venom tournament, and how did that help y'all get ready for volleyball season?
Well, our district is very different from 6A, I guess, which is obvious, and 5A and 6A. So it's a way to get mentally tough, really competitive preseason, getting ready for our district. So being able to play like McAllen schools, Memorial, Mackay, Rowe, always really tough in volleyball. Always want to bring the heat. You know, it's always competition. And even schools like Los Fresnos and Harlingen, you know, it's great being able to play those teams because it's schools that are out of your reach, you know. So I think it really prepared us for the season. I know we kind of showed up and there were some scrappy games. I think there was a game where I kicked the ball over the net.
Yep.
And even used my hands, which is, you know, what you're kind of supposed to do in volleyball. That is volleyball. So it was a really great tournament. I really love that league, that summer league. Keeps you in shape throughout the summer. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Last question here before we wrap things up. Obviously, you know, you had it's a blessing and a privilege, and it doesn't come around very often for you to be able to play for your dad. You know, just talk about that and, you know, what it meant to you and, you know, you being able to spend, you know, these last 4 years with your dad.
Yeah, well, my dad has been my coach practically my whole life. You know, he's my dad. I started in Boys and Girls Club with him, and I did move into AAU, and that was during my junior high years. But I mean, he's my dad and he's a coach, so I still had him here at home. You know, we go outside, do some workouts. It was always basketball talk, always. Even till today, he'll be in the living room. I'll be in my room. Ronnie, come over here. He's watching a college game, a UT college game from 20 years ago, telling me what he thinks about what this player did or what this player did. And it's, I mean, as hard and as difficult as people think it may be, having your dad as your coach. It really was the best experience of my high school career, and I'm very blessed to have him, to have had him as my coach. And it's something that I can take into consideration going into college. You know, you usually want to have your coach as that father figure, that mother figure. Well, I was lucky enough to have my actual dad as my coach. So I'll be able to build that relationship going into college. And he's always a phone call away. He's literally my dad. So that's always good.
Any shout outs you want to give out maybe to your team or any family tuning in?
Yeah. My parents, my sister, Rusty, my dog. You know, they're my core, my support system. You guys, all social media inputs, my friends, my whole entire family. Thank you for all your love, all your tremendous support. I truly appreciate it. You've made high school amazing. And most importantly, my teammates. They have been the foundation. They've built me up and helped me grow into the basketball player and the athlete that I am. So thank you so much. Yeah.
That's Senior Ronnie Cantu, Mission Veterans, our final guest of the day. We started off today with Texas State's and Brownsville Veterans alum Cassie Valdez, and we had San Benito softball coach Denise Lira join us earlier today, and then of course Ronnie Cantu joining us here. It's starting to thunder. I don't know what's going on over there in Mission and La Feria, but
yeah, I did hear a little something right now.
Starting to hear a little bit of thunder.
And the dog's barking.
On Monday at 1 o'clock, we're gonna have Gunnar Henderson join us. Mackay product. He spent a couple of years at UIW, and now he's with Texas A&M up in College Station. That's gonna be at 1 o'clock. At 3 o'clock, it's gonna be Billy, and you're gonna have Gus Sanchez, Javis Varial, Dorian Hernandez, and Daniel Rinza.
Yes, sir. The 32 4A squad.
So that'll be Billy at 3, and then at 5 o'clock, we're gonna have San Antonio Southside coach Ron Kretz join us on Monday. So Ronnie, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Tell your dad we said hello, and we enjoyed covering you guys, and thanks for taking the time out of your day to join us. And be safe, stay inside, and you guys stay healthy.
Likewise, thank you so much.
Thanks everyone. We'll see you guys on Monday.
Bye guys.